So the Chicago Sky have announced that they are moving arenas for Indiana's home game. Well, Indiana's road game, but Chicago's home game. This is the motion that the Indiana Fever /
The Chicago Sky just exposed Angel Reese's biggest claim. They're moving their Indiana Fever games to the massive United Center, doubling capacity just for Caitlin Clark matchups. Not all games, not for other stars, just Caitlin's. This move matters. Everything Reese has been saying about viewership, the numbers don't lie, and Angel's team just proved it. The Chicago Sky just dropped a bombshell that has the entire WNBA buzzing. For the first time in history, WNBA games will be played at the United Center, the iconic home of the Chicago Bulls. But here's the kicker. They're only moving their Indiana Fever games there, not the entire season, not
Sky have just announced that they are moving their game against the Indiana Fever to the United Center. Now, generally, these Sky play in Wintrust Arena, which accommodates about like 10,000 people, but the United Center accommodates 23,500. Now, I did hear that the 23,500 were for concert events, and for sporting events, I think it was either in the 21,500 range.
This completely contradicts what rookie Angel Reese has been preaching all season. Remember her viral interview? The reason why we are watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of Me Too, and I want you all to realize.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of Me Too, and I want
Angel's own team just proved otherwise.
The United Center tickets for the Sky versus the Fever game went on sale this morning, and they sold out.
United Center seats 20,000 fans, more than double the capacity of their regular home at Wintrust Arena. From a pure business perspective, the Sky decision makes perfect sense. Caitlin Clark is currently the biggest draw in women's basketball, and the organization wants to capitalize on the massive demand. But this move also inadvertently exposes a truth many in the WNBA have been reluctant to admit. One player.
But the Chicago Sky aren't the only ones arena hopping to host the Indiana Fever, as the Washington Mystics also have changed their venue.
This isn't the first time a WNBA team has upgraded venues specifically for Fever games. The Atlanta Dream moved their Fever matchup from the 3,500-seat Gateway Center to the 170,000-seat State Farm Arena. The Washington Mystics shifted their home game against Indiana from the Entertainment and Sports Arena to Capital One Arena. Each time, teams claimed it was due to scheduling conflicts or overwhelming demand, never directly crediting the Caitlin Clark effect.
It is hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. What they've done is, you know their home opener? They literally have they have moved the home opener to a massive arena.
Entered the league, WNBA games averaged around 6,600 fans per game in 2023. Respectable, but hardly selling out arenas. Fast forward to the 2024 season, and Indiana Fever games have become the hottest ticket in sports. Their home opener against the New York Liberty packed over 17,000 fans into Gainbridge Fieldhouse, an electric atmosphere that felt more like an NBA playoff game than a regular season WNBA matchup. Even more telling is what happened before Clark played her first professional minute. Teams were already booking larger venues for Fever games based solely on anticipated demand. The Indiana Fever sold out their preseason game, drawing 15,000 fans to watch scrimmages against bench players. That's unheard of in WNBA history. The impact goes far beyond attendance. The WNBA secured a historic $2.2 billion media rights deal, a massive jump from previous contracts. Television ratings have skyrocketed, with fewer games consistently drawing record viewership numbers. ESPN reported that Clark's WNBA debut was the most-watched WNBA game in 23 years, with 2.3 million viewers for context. The 2023 WNBA Finals averaged about 728,000 viewers per game. The league is experiencing unprecedented growth, yet there seems to be a reluctance among certain players and executives to acknowledge the driving force behind it. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert came closest to stating the obvious when she said Caitlin Clark has brought a new level of excitement to the league, and we're seeing that reflected in attendance and viewership numbers. But why the hesitation to fully embrace what's happening? The answer likely lies in the complex dynamics of professional sports. For veterans who've been grinding for years with little recognition, watching a rookie receive instant adoration can be difficult. There's an understandable desire to ensure other incredible talents in the league, A.A. Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionesco, and yes, Angel Reese get their deserved spotlight. This reluctance has created an unusual atmosphere where teams are making business decisions clearly based on CLK's drawing power while publicly maintaining it's about more than just one player. It's a strange disconnect that's becoming increasingly difficult to maintain as the Chicago Sky venue change so clearly demonstrates. What makes this situation particularly ironic is that Angel Reese is herself a massive star. Her college rivalry with Clark generated unprecedented interest in women's basketball. She boasts millions of social media followers, major endorsement deals, and a bold personality that draws yet instead of leaning into this new era of women's basketball where multiple stars can thrive under increased attention, there seems to be a competitive reluctance to acknowledge Clark's impact. Lisa Leslie, a WNBA legend and one of the greatest players ever, has taken a different approach. It's official that Caitlin Clark is a game changer. Leslie said she's changed the game with her ability to shoot the ball, her unlimited range, and also her impact, how she's impacting other young girls in basketball. Even Duke's legendary coach Mike Krzyzewski called Clark the most exciting player in the game right now. Clark's teammates are equally supportive. Sophie Cunningham is one of the Fever's newest additions. Enthusiastically stated, "I'll be her Sabrina Carpenter any day if she's Taylor Swift." Natasha Howard switched teams specifically to play with Clark, citing her incredible passing ability as a major factor. Veteran star Demiris Dentes expressed similar excitement about sharing the court with the rookie phenom. This contrasts with some veterans' reluctance and others' embrace of Clark. Highlights an important crossroads for the WNBA. The league has long fought for mainstream attention and increased financial support. Now that it's arriving, albeit through an unexpected catalyst, the question becomes whether all stakeholders can put aside personal feelings to capitalize on this moment. The Chicago Sky's decision to move Clark's games to the United Center represents more than just a venue change. It's an acknowledgement of market reality. Fans want to watch Caitlin Clark play. They're willing to pay for tickets, tune in on television, and engage with the WNBA in unprecedented numbers because of her. This doesn't diminish other players' talents or contributions. It simply recognizes a phenomenon that's objectively benefiting everyone in the league. Looking at the numbers, the effect is undeniable. Ticket prices for Fever games have surged by 427% compared to last season. The WNBA's social media following has grown by millions. Merchandise sales have exploded, with Clark's jersey becoming the best-selling rookie jersey in league history. These aren't subjective opinions. They're measurable metrics that tell a clear story about what's driving the WNBA's current boom. The psychology behind the resistance is fascinating. For years, WNBA players have fought for recognition, battling the perception that their game was somehow less exciting or skilled than men's basketball. They've pushed against unfair comparisons and struggled to build a fan base in a crowded sports landscape. Now that the breakthrough is happening, there's a natural desire to ensure it's recognized as a collective achievement rather than attributed to a single player, but this mindset creates a false dichotomy. Acknowledging Clark's impact doesn't mean missing the contributions of everyone who came before her or everyone playing alongside her now. The reality is that sports often experience growth spurts catalyzed by transcendent talents. The NBA exploded in popularity during the Bird Magic era and again during Jordan's reign. Tennis saw surges with the Williams sisters. Golf expanded its audience dramatically with Tiger Woods. In each case, the entire sport benefited, not just the star at the center. The WNBA stands at a similar inflection point. Clark's arrival has coincided with and significantly contributed to a moment when women's sports are gaining unprecedented attention. Rather than resisting this reality, the league and its players would be better served by embracing it and leveraging it for long-term growth. Some teams clearly understand this. The Chicago Sky aren't just responding to fan demand by moving to the United Center, they're strategically positioning themselves to capitalize on a historic opportunity. They recognize that selling out a 2 million-seat arena twice sends a powerful message about the commercial viability of women's basketball. It attracts sponsors, increases media coverage, and builds momentum that can benefit the entire organization, including Angel. Reese for Reese. This situation presents both a challenge and an opportunity. The challenge lies in reconciling her previous statements with her team's actions. The opportunity is in recognizing that Clark's popularity doesn't diminish her own star power. It enhances the platform on which she can showcase her talents. When 20,000 fans fill the United Center, many will come to see Clark, but all will witness Reese's skills as well. The smart play for Reese isn't to fight against Clark's popularity, but to channel it. Use those high-profile matchups to deliver standout performances. Turn the narrative from Clark versus Reese to Clark and Reese. The future of women's basketball. The spotlight is big enough for multiple stars, and the fans coming to see Clark today could become real supporters tomorrow if she embraces the moment rather than resenting it. This dynamic isn't unique to sports, and music artists often tour together, with lesser-known acts opening for established stars in business. Smaller companies form strategic partnerships with industry leaders. The goal isn't to outshine the bigger name, but to benefit from the expanded audience and opportunity. Reese has the chance to adopt a similar mindset, viewing Clark not as a rival for attention, but as a partner in growing the game they both love. The 2025 season will be pivotal for the WNBA, with the All-Star Game in Indianapolis and the Fever building a competitive roster around Clark. All signs point to continued growth. The question isn't whether Clark will remain a major attraction. She will. The question is how the rest of the league positions itself to benefit from the expanded audience and increased resources. Her presence has helped generate teams like the Chicago Sky, who are already answering that question by making practical business decisions. Moving games to larger venues isn't about playing favorites. It's about maximizing revenue and exposure. It's about seeing an opportunity and seizing it. It's about recognizing that sometimes the catalyst for positive change comes from unexpected sources, and that fighting against that catalyst only hampers progress for Angel Reese. The path forward is clear. Instead of focusing on who deserves credit for the WNBA's surging popularity, focus on taking advantage of the bigger stage. Use the United Center Games to showcase her talents to thousands of new fans. Turn potential Clark supporters into Reese supporters to demonstrate through performance rather than proclamations why she deserves attention alongside, not instead of, the league's newest star, the